When I was just a little girl, I asked my mama, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Pet, your face is flat. You're ugly as sin, my babe. You look like your Uncle Dave. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Hello everyone, welcome to my blog. And it's a gorgeous day here in Hartlepool, Friday morning, and I hope everybody's had a good week. And I love Doris Day. Don't you just love Doris Day? She's absolutely, she's marvellous. Do you know my mum looks exactly like Doris Day? She really does, Betty. And she used to sing, my mum. I think that's where I get my theatrical side from, my mother. In fact, I said to her, do you know, Mum, I'm thinking of buying a theatre. She said, are you having me on? I said, well, you can audition. I said, but I can't make any promises. Right, now today I've got a very special guest, a fellow warlock. Or should I say a fellow witch? I'm not sure of the correct term. Not only is he a good friend of mine, he's a lawyer. He actually practices Reiki and healing. He also reads the tarot cards. He's wrote a book. He's a man of many talents. I'd like to introduce him today. Mark! Give it up to Mark. Hello, darling. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Lovely to see you too.
I'm lovely to be here. Hello, everybody.
And do you know, he's coming from London, haven't you?
I have indeed.
To be on my blog,
I
especially.
have indeed. Yeah.
All the way from London?
All the way.
Although you're a Hartlepool boy, though, aren't you?
I am. I was born here. Yeah.
Hartlepool boy.
The accent is gone, as you probably can tell. But yeah.
Not like mine. thick as treacle.
If I hang around you for 5 minutes, it'll come back.
You will, I know.
I pick up all sorts of accents. Right.
So, what would you like to do first? Would you like to pick a card out, or would you like to have a little chat about things with you doing the tarot at the same time?
I'm an ex-lawyer. I write, I do Reiki, and I also do tarot. So should we do a card of the week?
Should we do a card of the week?
Let's do a card
okay
of the week.
Then. So I'll give you my cosmic cards. So I'd like you to shuffle the cards, Mark.
Okay.
Give them a good shuffle. Get all your lovely vibes on them.
Okay.
And we'll see what the week has in store for you. This is quite exciting.
Okay, there you go.
Pick one card.
All right.
From anywhere.
Let's do the splits.
Oh, he's going to spread it, is he? I wish I could do the splits. My love life would improve.
Wow.
Oh, I say. Oh, well. Right, okay, let me show you what card you've got. Right. Mark has got the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands has two distinct meanings, right? Now, I'm going to tell you what my meanings are, and then you can tell me how you interpret it, because that would be interesting, right? To me, the Knight has two meanings. First, it can stand for a fire sign man under 40. So he can be an Aries, a Sagittarius, a Leo, or if he's not a fire sign, he just has a fire sign personality, right? He's quite impetuous, quite fiery, quite passionate, you know. Could be a Leo because there's a big lion on his guard, not his guard, is it? What do they call that again? His shield. His shield. There's a big lion on his shield. Now, if it's not a man who has that personality, it could be movement, because knights are all about movement and restlessness. So it could be a trip. It could be a move of something. It could be a move with your job. It could be travel. It's as I say, nights are all about movement as well. Yeah. So it's either a man or it's travel. So how would you interpret that?
Exactly the same. You might also just get movement in something. So that might be if you're looking for a job or you're waiting on something to happen. It can just be when the news comes in. That's the same
thing.
It's pretty much the same.
Which are you hoping it then?
I kind of think movement at the moment.
Okay,
yeah,
marvellous.
I think movement.
Marvellous. Well, it's a good card then.
It is.
Marvellous. Right, okay.
I'll go with that.
Now, what would you like to discuss?
One of the things that, when I'm doing readings, people always say, have I got a new relationship coming? Or they're asking about their existing relationship. But very often, is it a new relationship coming?
Sure.
So if a card like Ace of Cups comes up, Two of Cups comes up, Lovers comes up, that's always, that's something new coming in. And you can see it in their eyes, and some of them will ask it outright. It's, what's the sex going to be like?
Oh, I get that all the time.
Yeah. So, let's talk about the sex cards.
Let's talk about sex, a subject that I would imagine everybody is excited about, including me.
Well.
So, this is the only sex I'm getting this week, so...
Let's see what's in the cards.
So I would say, if like the Ace of Cups, that is the beginning of a love affair, isn't it? Where your heart's racing. The Two of Cups I always see as the soulmate card.
Yep.
But the sex cards, I would say, would be the Three of Cups. I'd say is quite sexual.
That's a bit of a celebration, yeah.
Yes, but in the cosmic, I talked about this a few weeks ago, you see a man and woman on there and they're very erotic, and I see the Three of Cups as sex. I also see the Ace of Wands, because the Ace of Wands is quite phallic.
It is.
So the Ace of Wands is kind of like holding, he's holding a big wand in his hand, which can be a bit phallic. So I'd say the Ace of Wands was quite a sexual card as well. So what about you? What cards do you think are sexual?
The Devil.
The Devil.
Yeah, that's a lust card. This is good. If you get that, so if you get something like Ace of Cups coming up, and you get a card like Ace of Wands, you said Three of Cups. If the Devil comes after it, that is a very, very.
I think that's good sex then.
Yeah, bordering on obsession.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that card.
So that is pretty powerful. Eight of Wands is a one-night stand, so you can get something like...
Do you see Eight of Wands as a one-night stand?
It's fast, it's a quickie. It's fast, it's quick.
It's a quickie, the Eight of Wands?
Yeah. So you might get the Ace of Cups followed by the Eight of Wands, and you'll go, yeah, this'll move your world, but
it's only going to last the one night?
It's over pretty quick.
Quick. I remember that, because I wouldn't have thought the Eight of Wands, right, I just think that is speed, but I suppose when it comes to sex, then I suppose...
Yeah, so, oh dear, what's the other one? Yeah, if you were to get something like Nine of Swords after that lot, you might have a trip to the clinic. It's true.
We should put a disclaimer here, shouldn't we?
We really should. And if you get the Hermit, that's...
the Hermit's
that's get off, I'll do it myself.
Yeah. Mark, it's a family show, remember. Sorry, what did I touch there? What have you got in your pocket?
My wallet. Or maybe I'm just pleased to see you. But, so those are the main ones, I think.
Right, so okay then. Moving swiftly on. I think this is great. Right.
We haven't rehearsed this.
No, nothing. I was just saying last week to my friend Emma, who was an absolute hoot, who was on last week, I said, you can't rehearse this, because if you rehearse it, it just comes across as rehearsed, doesn't it? And I never edit it, I just do it in the first take and that's it.
Yeah.
Unless I have a really bad tickle in my throat or something, but usually it's just the first take,
Yeah.
So okay, let's pick a card out for everybody for the week then.
Okay.
Right, including myself then. Then let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk... Oh, look where I've got.
Eight of Wands.
I'm going to have a quickie this week. Right. The Eight of Wands. How funny.
That's the way this works.
Isn't this... Right, now, the Eight of Wands, I used to say it had two distinct meanings, but now I would say it has three distinct meanings, thanks to your input. So the Eight of Wands can mean travel. As you can see, there's a ship on there, and there's the two dolphins, and the water's going quite fast, so, it can mean travel. Or I always see that if your life's been a bit delayed, and you've put the pause button on your life, it's kind of things, it's like acceleration. Do you see that as well? Yeah,
it's end of stagnation.
Absolutely. Yeah. End of stagnation, there you go. He's a bit more affluent than me. I don't know, because you just that could be one night stand or a quickie as well. So if I get, I don't know what this is going to do, folks, to the people who are watching, but you're either going to have a quickie, you're either going to have things that are going to be moving very fast in your life after a pause. What did you say again? End of stagnation. Or you're going to have a little trip. Or swim with the dolphins. Sometimes, do you find that sometimes the cards can be very literal?
Yes.
Like the pictures on the cards. You see, I've seen that card come up when somebody's going to Florida.
Yeah.
And they swim with the dolphins, because there's two dolphins on there.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to walk into a card, don't you?
Well, we were talking about this the other night, where we got Ten of Swords, and I said, someone's going to go and have acupuncture.
Absolutely.
Which is a totally different meaning to what Ten of Swords would normally be, but that's what I was doing.
So you just have to go with your gut, don't you?
That's what just came through.
So there you go. Let's hope it's a quickie. Right, Right then, so I'd just like to, before I start with my joke, you know you're going to get a joke, and it's a clean one this week actually, I'd just like to talk about Mark's book for 1 minute. This is his book, Middle Class Hell and How to Cure It, by Mark Hanlon. So can you just tell us briefly about your book, Mark?
Well, it was one of those situations where I was having an absolutely awful time with something, and I'd wanted to write a book for ages. So it was just, well, here is the space to do it. You know, it's what was going on was awful, so I just sat down and did it, and it just flowed. So the first 2/3 are a comedy about my life, and for people who are in the Northeast, it is a book about my life in the North. It's a comedy about growing up in the Northeast in the 70s and 80s. Then it flips in the last 100 pages. So those of you who know about law of attraction know that what you think, so you create in your reality. So the how to cure it bit is, if you want to change your life, this is how you do it, by putting a different thought process into your head and watching how that unfolds into your physical reality.
Fantastic. So, well, Mark only gave me this yesterday, so I'm really looking forward to reading this. Unless I get a quickie, then it'll have to wait a week. Well, I might be reading it while I'm having a quickie. Give me a kiss. Lovely to see you, darling.
You too.
Lovely
you too.
Oh, he's a little star. Lovely to see you, Mark. Right. So, you're going to get a joke. So this is a clean one for a change. And after the talk, I think we need some clean jokes. Okay, this fella walks in to get his hair cut. And it's an Italian barber called Johnny the Barber's. So he walks in and he says, "Can you give me a haircut, please?" And Johnny the Barber's starting to cut his hair. And he says, "Sorry, I will apologise for my Italian accent here. Even though I'm half Italian, my Italian accent is dire." So he goes, "All right, my friend, where you go this year for your holiday?" He says, he said, "Johnny, I'm going to Rome." "You're going to Rome? In July? Oh, my God, it'll be so hot, you will burn yourself. Oh, no. He said, "Where you stay, my friend?" He said, "We're actually staying in the Four Seasons." "The Four Seasons? Oh, my God, the maids, they are ugly. The sheets are scratchy. You will not like it, Four Seasons. Why are you going to Rome in July?" He says, "Well, actually, we're hoping to see the Pope." "You think you see the Pope? You think you see the Pope in St. Peter's Square? Oh, no, you'll never see the Pope. He will be this big, you will never see him with all the crowd. No. Capiche. So, this fellow walks out with the hairdressers. So he goes to Rome, has 2 weeks in Rome, comes back, a few weeks later he goes in the hairdressers, in the barbers for his haircut, you see. So he sees Johnny the Barber, so Johnny says to him, "So my friend, tell me you got sunburned. He said, "Well, actually, no, Johnny." He said, "The weather was like a spring day every single day. It was marvellous. "Tell me, the Four Seasons, the sheets were scratchy, No. He said, "Actually," he said, "the sheets were Egyptian cotton." He said, "And the maids were gorgeous, and they used to leave a little chocolate on our pillow every night." So you're wrong about that, Johnny. He said, "Tell me you did not see the Pope." He said, "Well, actually," he said, "we got right up to the Vatican." He said, "When me and my wife were at the Vatican," he said, "we got ushered in by these 2 officials." He said, "And they walked over," he said, "and they ushered us away. And we walked into the Vatican," he said, "and there was this big hall." He said, "and we looked at the end of the hall." He said, "and you never believe this." He said, "At the end of the hall, there was the Pope in his throne, sat there." He said, "So me and my wife walked forward." He said, "and we got to the Pope." He said, "When we stood in front of the Pope," he said, "I was so nervous." He said, "and the Pope just went." He said, "So I knelt down." He said, "and you know what he said?" "Mamma mia, who cut your bloody hair? Johnny the Barber?" I love that. Well, everybody, have a lovely week, and it's been a pleasure singing for you and telling a few jokes, and have my wonderful guest, Mark. Good luck with the book, Mark.
Thank you.
You can buy it everywhere, I would think. And I'll see you next week, and have love and sparkles, and hope you get a quickie. Bye.